now in Exodus 12. I'm splitting it in four because it's long. So the third part, verses 31 to 42. Okay, which is the Exodus. During the night, Pharaoh summoned Moses and Aaron and said, "Up, lead my people. You and the Israelites, go worship the Lord as you have requested. Take your flocks and herds as you have said, and go and also bless me." Because he's worried about his children was dying. Everyone was dying, the firstborn. The Egyptians urged the people to hurry and leave the country, for otherwise they said, "We will all die." There you go. So the people took their dough before. Here's the point I want to make. Everything is a symbolism. Why did God have a model nation of Israel before the real Christians later? It was all really a symbol. Just like the Old Testament, things to come. I don't know why. Because here's part of the symbol. To take your flocks, so the people took their dough, here it is, before the yeast was added, before it was puffing up, okay? And carried it, I'll comment on the end of this, and carried it on their shoulders and kneading troughs wrapped in clothing. The Israelites did as Moses instructed and asked the Egyptians for articles that God blessed them of silver and gold, because people had favor with God, made them have favor. And for clothing, they asked gold and silver and clothing of the Egyptians. The Lord had made the Egyptians favorable. There you go, favorably disposed towards the people, the Israelites. And they gave them, the Egyptians gave the Israelites what they asked for, so they plundered the Egyptians without war. Just as God said, the Israelites sojourned from Ramsey to Succoth. Okay, well, what that symbolic of? Egypt is sin, and Israelites are leaving sin. And isn't it funny how they didn't have the yeast, which puffens up for the dough, as it explains. The Feast of Unleavened Bread after the Passover, which was symbolic of the real true sacrifice. Jesus Christ died. And 7 days of unleavened bread meant leaving sin. And yeast is symbolic, a metaphor of puffing up arrogant sin, like the father of sin, Christ called him, who tried to knock God off the throne, Satan. So they left Egypt sin without the... It's like leaving sin and changing. You're repenting, the first step, coming up the New Testament, without leavened bread, right? You're not puffed up. You get it? You understand? Okay, so the Israelites sojourned in Ramsey and Succoth. They were about 600,000 men, and plus women and children, so might as well triple that roughly. Many other people went up with them, and also large droves of livestock, flocks, and everything else. And they baked the loaves of bread. I need to skim here without yeast because they had been driven out, as I explained, from Egypt, did not have time to prepare the food. Now, the length of the time the Israelites were in Egypt were 430 years. At the end of 430 years to the very day that the Lord took them out of Egypt, the divisions of the Israelites, because the Lord kept a vigil that night to bring them out of Egypt. On this night, all the Israelites are to keep vigil to honor the Lord. It was a remembrance, God said, to keep vigil of remembrance of them leaving Egypt. Okay, bye.